Yeah.
Green Bay. I have a lot to say about Green Bay, but I want you to go first as a diehard Green Bay lifelong Packer fan. Are we relaxed or are we ringing the panic bell?
My panic isn't with the 38, 39, however old he is. It's not with that quarterback. The guy is making plays. The guy is getting the ball where it needs to. We cannot have 7 drops as a receiving core, running backs. We cannot have that many freaking drops and expect the offense to move at the pace it needs to move at. Matt LaFleur seems absolutely befuddled at what to be calling for offensive plays, which is I loved him last year. I've loved him the past 3 years, however long. I think he's been 3 years now. I've loved him, but this year it's like, do you just not know do we not know what we're doing anymore? He's starting to worry me. That defense is legit. The defense is gonna be legit. Jair had the perfect plan for the secondary. Wilson had 90 yards passing. We cannot give up 190 yards on the ground.
No,
We were supposed to be better at run defense. We are worse than we were last year.
So including the kneel downs from Zach Wilson's, it was 33 carries for 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Packers rush defense.
What are you doing
against a team? So they ran the ball 33 times. They threw the ball 18 times. So there was no secret what the game plan was. It was, we're going to hammer. We got Carter. We got Hall.
Yeah.
We're hammering that defense. We're going to chisel away at it. We'll turn that down. Chat. Did I get hacked or something?
No, we probably got copyright strikes.
Oh, no, we're fine. You don't even know what that was from.
Fox News is out my ass.
Oh, here we go. Where's Kanye? He'll tell you it's a simulation.
No,
it's not real.
No, we're not doing. No, too early.
Too early. But I know we talked briefly about the Packers offensive line last week. I told you it wasn't good. You yelled at me. Where's the Packers offensive line? Is it panic mode for the offensive line?
Do you want to know how you fix an offensive line?
How do you fix an offensive line?
You run the damn ball.
So they had, are we panicked about Aaron Jones? 9 carries for 19 yards.
No.
A.J. Dillon, 10 carries, 41. Clearly, A.J. Dillon played a lot better yesterday than Aaron Jones did.
But neither one of them could get going if you give them 10 fucking carries. I said this against the Giants.
Yeah.
We cannot have those guys having 20 fucking carries between the two of them.
I mean, Robert Tonyan.
What are you doing?
Robert Tonyan, leading receiver, 10 catches, 90 yards, 12 targets.
I don't think I told you on the podcast. I think Tunyan's got the best hands on the Packers.
Well, there was something a couple years ago crazy. 70 receptions, 75 targets. Absolutely unheard of.
Tunyan's got the best hands on the Packers.
If the ball was near him, he was catching it. Lazard.
I love the lizard still. I still love the lizard. But what do we have out of that? I mean, obviously, I love Dobbs. I think Dobbs is going to be a dude. But
Dobbs. So
Cobb might be. I don't know what happened to Cobb. I'm actually going to look that up while we're discussing this.
Cobb. So
he gets carted back to the locker room.
He got carted back. I think he's out for a while. I think he's out for a while. So very quickly, do we have a timestamp here? Executive producer Mike Andrews. 26 minutes. All right. Very quickly, I just want to run through this real quick before we have 4 more games to cover. But Pro Football Focus put out a massive article today. Shared everywhere it was. Aaron Rodgers, and we talked briefly before we started this podcast, 2 high safeties this year. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 5.4 yards attempt. Pretty abysmal numbers for Aaron Rodgers. Yep. Single high safety, looking much better, 8.6 yards per carry, 8 touchdowns. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused. Single high was 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, 6.7 yards. Back-to-back MVP years. 1 high safety, 56 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Yeah, that's a lot.
How badly does Green Bay need a number 1 receiver to get open? They can't if they got 2 high safeties, he's going underneath and his guys aren't getting open. They can't get open in the short game. Dubes he was blanketed.
He had a couple drops too.
He had a couple drops. He was basically wearing sauce as a jacket. And he was just following wherever he went. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Same thing. Lazard had the big catch, but he had 4 catches on 9 targets. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Green Bay.
Love Tunyan, but he's not the middle of the field presence that people are scared of, which is what you need to do to break a 2 or 4 high safety.
And that is that is pretty much the article puts all it out is. Rodgers, if you have 2 guys deep, he's dumping it off low, and you're not getting a whole lot of yards after catch. You're not getting a whole lot of anything. No one open. I think the Packers should be very, very, very worried. I think they could still get into the playoffs. I like them as a playoff team. Now they
Gotta figure out how to fucking run the ball.
They gotta. I don't know. LaFleur, for the first time I think ever, I saw him screaming at the sideline, screaming at his offense to get it going.
Yep.
They got to run the ball. A lot of that is on him. Their offensive line has pieces to run the ball. They have to do it. They can't get into. We know we talked about that, but it was second and long.
Yeah.
Third and long. You can't get into it. Teams are just gonna sit back. They've kind of figured out where they're gonna go with the ball. I'm panicked. I know you're.
I'm getting there.
We're getting there. So we're still in the
there.
We're relaxed, but the seat's getting a little warm for the panic.
And Rodgers did come out and say, he said, "Well, I got to play better. I got to play better. I got to be doing. I got to step up if we're gonna get to where we're gonna get to with this team." And that kind of makes me feel good because Rodgers has said things as such in the past and has gone on absolute tears afterwards.
So we'll see how we go. We still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
We'll see how this.
Cobb may have avoided serious injury.
That's
He's probably still on IR stint though.
It's IR, so he's out at least 4 weeks.
Yeah.